This guy was standing in line at the grocery store. It's a normal day, and right next to him is the priority lane for elderly people and people with disabilities. So there's chairs there. This elderly couple is sitting down waiting to check out. This guy walks up, cuts right in front of him. Excuse me. Hey man, they're already in line. I don't see them standing in line. He's being real smug. And the two elderly people are just sitting there, very uncomfortable. Well, this guy shuts up, but he's fuming. So he looks in the guy's cart. It's a full camping setup. He must be going to camping like right now. Sleeping bag, marshmallows, instant noodles, portable stove, bacon, and one single can of butane gas. Well, the guy's on the phone. He's loud, completely distracted. So this guy reaches into his cart and takes the butane gas, puts it in his own cart. The dude pays for his groceries, leaves. The elderly couple finally checks out, and this guy goes home. But he's sitting there, laughing to himself, because somewhere out there a man pulled into a campsite, got unpacked, and was getting ready to make dinner, but couldn't find the gas anywhere, which would cause him to take a very lengthy drive back to the store. That is awesome. It was April, heat was rising, classrooms were packed, the AC wasn't working very well, and the school had a rule: no standing up during class, even for a second. Not even to stretch. What? The teacher said it disrupted the learning environment. Whatever, that's completely bogus. Well, this one kid named Andy, he has this knee condition. It was a sports injury, he had done physical therapy, all this stuff. Well, he gets into class, the bell had barely rung, and his knee was bothering him, so he shifted in his chair a bit and stood up to adjust. Andy! It was his history teacher. You know the rule. Or do you? No. I wasn't walking around, my knee was hurting, I had to— Go office now. He gets into the office and he explains everything to the principal. Are you disrespecting your teacher's orders? No, I just needed to— Attention today. Well, you see, this kid's mom was a nurse, and when she finds out about this, she was pissed. Well, she shows up the next day with his medical records and slaps them on the principal's desk. Hey, unless you're planning on becoming a doctor, you're gonna let my kid stand up when his knee hurts, okay? Yes, ma'am. Apparently she was so intense, the principal was freaked out, he talked to the teacher, and that rule changed very quick. What kind of teacher would do that, though? That's insane. You see, it started in 5th grade. Every morning, he would flip open this little blue notebook. His notebook would have 2 columns. On the left, it would say prediction. On the right, it would say results. What was he doing, you ask? He was predicting people's sneezes. And to him, it wasn't a joke. But he would track sneezes every day. And the freaky part was, he got weirdly accurate. It would be math class. He would sit down, he would open the notebook. On the left, under prediction, he would put Ben. 10 minutes later, Ben would sneeze. Under result, he would put Ben. It would be English class. He would sit down. Under predictions, he would put Kylie. 15 minutes into class, Kylie would sneeze, but there were some days where he's like, I don't think anybody's gonna sneeze today. So under prediction, he would put nobody. You see what I'm saying with this? Nobody knew what the point was until the last day of school. Somebody asked him, yo bro, can I see your sneeze notebook? You know what, man? Yeah, here. And there it was, pages and pages and pages of sneeze predictions. And on the last page, the results. Total sneezes predicted correctly, 114. Incorrect predictions, 9. Accuracy rate, 92.7%. He gave the notebook back to the kid, the bell rang, and then it was summer break. I don't know why he did that, but it does kind of sound like a fun thing to do in class. Who's to say? The arcade ticket heist. So back in middle school, this group of friends basically lived at the local arcade. Well, one afternoon, 2 friends are walking home, and they see the dumpster by the arcade place. Yo, dude, look. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, bro. Tickets. In the dumpster was bags of old tickets, thousands, all tossed away. Well, that day started a routine. At the end of every week, they would check the dumpster and take all the tickets home. All right, haul it, let's go. And they would store them in one of the friends' garage. But then the arcade catches on and they start shredding tickets. All right, so that was over. But the boys escalate. They realize that towards the night, the employees were always high school kids that didn't really care about their job. Well, they're inside one night and they see something. Yo, look, it's a ring of keys. The keys that open up every single machine, hanging on a nail on the wall, guarded by 2 teenagers. So they had a plan. Hey, the Jurassic Park game ate my tokens. Can you guys check it out for me? You want to go do that, Kyle? Actually, I go in the bathroom. Which game again? So now both employees are successfully distracted. The other kid slips behind the counter and takes the keys. But here's the thing. All right, I just gotta open this. We'll get your tokens back. Wait, where are my keys? Hold on. Yo, where's the keys to the games? What's that? Oh, I don't know. But there's an extra set of keys right here. Boom. So now these two friends have keys, but there's an extra pair. So the workers didn't suspect them at all. Well, now that they have the keys, suddenly every machine in the arcade is a bank vault, ready to be emptied. And they would do this every day. Jurassic Park, they open the coin box and take all the tokens. Skee-Ball, they open that up and take the entire roll of tickets. Day after day, week after week, they managed to get away with taking hundreds of thousands of tickets. And then it was the big day. They load an entire van with like dozen bags of tickets and they bring it to the arcade. And they haul them in there. Ugh. We want to redeem these. Ugh. Yeah, they definitely looked suspicious. But the worker goes, All right. By the end, the friends walk out with a Razor scooter, every single piece of candy the place had, a full set of Nerf weapons, half the toy wall, and a Nintendo Switch. A clean sweep. A frickin' perfect score of a heist. Eventually, the actual manager of the arcade, who was never really there, found out what had happened. But they didn't know who did it because the place didn't have any cameras. And that was a legendary heist that town still talks about. That's insane. This kid was sleeping over at his friend's house, and he wakes up in the middle of the night, hungry. I'm hungry. He remembers that there was graham crackers in the kitchen, and he figured that'll work. So he gets up and he steps out of the room. But the second he lays foot in the hallway... What? A motion sensor alarm goes off. Within seconds, the lights turn on and his friend's dad comes barging out of his bedroom. Who's out here? You. It's just me. I was getting a snack. The dad then pointed to multiple small boxes on the baseboard of the hallway. You see these, kid? Motion sensors. No one's allowed to leave their rooms after midnight. He heads back into the bedroom and his friend's awake. Hey, bro, I'm sorry about that. Dude, that's so messed up. You have a curfew for inside your house. I know, it sucks. And this was so uncomfortable for him that he never slept at that house ever again. School's over this one day and this kid's grandpa pulls up. Windows down and he's waving his grandson over. Hey, come here. Hey, come on, I'm here. Kid's like, okay. Yeah, it wasn't his grandson. It was a kid that had the same jacket and the same backpack as him. But for some reason, the kid still gets in the car. And the grandpa starts driving away. So how was school, buddy? Kid's like, good. That's what I like to hear. The grandpa makes it halfway back home when the kid finally says, sir, I'm not your grandson. What? Oh, Jesus. Now cut back to the school. This kid's actual grandson's like, I don't know where he is. The grandpa then screeches back into the parking lot. I have the wrong kid. That one's my grandson. Oh, hey, okay. Well, now I actually missed my bus. You think you can actually drive me home? Sure. So now he has his grandson in the car and the kid he thought was his grandson in the car. Dude, you got kidnapped by my grandpa. I know, it's crazy. The next day, those two sat by each other at lunch. And they've been best friends ever since. That is beautiful. It was 7 friends in the basement of the house. Blankets on the floor, video games going, pizza, junk food everywhere. All the makings of a great sleepover. Well, before the night really even started, the mom walked down the stairs and said this.
Midnight. You guys better be asleep by midnight.
Everyone nodded. Yeah, sure, okay. Because let's be honest, every parent says it at a sleepover, but that never is what happens. So they went all in. Xbox tournaments, Mario Kart, laughing loudly, telling crazy stories. It was awesome. Well, it's midnight. It's 12:01. And the party's still going. They're still being loud. It's now 12:30 a.m. And they're even louder. Then the basement door slams open and the mom comes downstairs. And she's mad.
Get your phones out now. Every single one of you is calling your parents you're getting picked up tonight.
Wait, what? Like all of us?
Yes, all of you. Sleepover is over.
And by 1 a.m., the basement living room was empty. Just blankets and crumbs, and that mom's very, very sad kid. I mean, yeah, I get being frustrated that your kid and his friends are being loud, but hey, they're kids. This is messed up. So this kid spent his summer at yard sales. Every Saturday, he'd be out in the neighborhood scanning tables looking for sneakers at these garage sales. Didn't matter if they were brand new or perfect condition, any sneaker with a logo worked. Nike, Adidas, doesn't matter. And he was finding them. Some were $5 a pair, some were $8 a pair, some were free. Just take them, man. I don't want them anymore. Fantastic. He would take them home, scrub them with a toothbrush, swap them with brand new laces. He would then throw them up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And people were buying these shoes. $40, $80, sometimes even over $100. He said it was crazy how many rare shoes people were selling for like $5. His brother would come home every day from working at Subway, and this kid would just be sitting there counting his cash. His parents finally asked, "Kevin, where's all this money coming from, man?" And he just opened up his closet. Look at this. Reselling sneakers. By the end of summer, he had made more than his brother made the entire summer at Subway, all from reselling $5 sneakers. You gotta respect the hustle. At this middle school, this gym class was brutal. Every single day, mile runs, rain or shine. No basketball, no dodgeball, just running. So when this kid showed up in a cast, people were jealous. No gym for him for like a month and a half. Eventually, he healed. But when the doctors took his cast off, they gave it back to him. And that gave him a brilliant idea. I have a brilliant idea. He reinforced the inside of the cast with foam, rewrapped parts of the outside with bandage tape, and kept the cast in a sling. Then he began making an offer to students. $50 a month. No gym, no questions asked. So what? I gave you the money, you give me the cast, and I wear it for a month, and then I don't have to do gym? That's right, my furry little friend. What? Nothing. And it worked. Kids who paid would get the cast, put it on, and be limping around school, holding their arm like it hurt. They could even pay extra, and this kid would forge doctor's notes for them. Well, when they walked into gym class with his cast on, the gym teacher asked no questions. They were just gonna sit out, and that was that. Well, demand got so high, the wait list was pretty long. He even had people Venmoing him early to reserve a spot. Well, some teachers were starting to get skeptical about why so many kids were breaking their left arm, but it wasn't that big of a deal yet. And soon enough, this entire business fell apart. One of the kids who rented this cast for a month let his friend borrow it for his gym period. I don't want to do gym today, man. Bro, it's fine. Take this. I rented it. It's mine for the month anyway. Here, put it on. Nice. Super dumb move. So third period, one kid walks into gym class with the cast on. Then fourth period, a completely different kid walks in with the same cast on to gym class. The gym teacher clocked it immediately. They both got sent to the office. They snitched on the kid who ran this business and boom, everything was shut down. Kind of a brilliant idea, but maybe it could have been executed better, but still, you gotta respect the hustle. Steven was a quiet kid that got bullied for everything, but one day he decided to change that. It was a second floor classroom. Steven was sitting by the window, and he decided that today was the day he was not going to be bullied anymore and that he was going to become a legend. Now, the funny thing about Steven was that he was actually shredded. Well, the teacher was mid-lesson, and Steven opens up the window and he jumps out. There was a single-story building right outside this window, so he just jumped down onto that. And then he started dancing. Like full-on dancing, poses, spins, his hands were in the air, frickin' jazz hands. One kid near the window said, "Bro thinks he's doing a halftime show." He was hyped. He thought he did a great dance, so he hopped down to the courtyard, watched Back in School, and sat down in the classroom. But the thing is, nobody even saw him do it. Just that one kid by the window. Nice work, man. He was livid. He did all that because he wanted to be this legend of a kid who danced on the roof of the school building. But no one noticed him, so the next week he came and he did it again. Same class, same window, same routine, and again, nobody noticed. Did anybody see that? See what, Steven, huh? The world does not revolve around you. Pay attention to the lesson. I hate my life. So this kid had the biggest yard in the entire neighborhood. It's the yard that people always ended up hanging out at. But one summer, he had a bigger idea. He thought about those giant music festivals and how much money they make. And he thought, why not try to have one in my backyard? So first he held auditions. Bands, comics, magicians, whatever. Bring your instruments, bring your tricks, just show me what you got. And the best acts got a spot on the lineup. He built a stage out of stacked wood pallets and plywood. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. A friend brought an amp, some dude brought a microphone, it was all coming together. At the front gate of his yard, he had two friends working security. $10 a ticket. And inside, hot dogs and soda for $2 each. And his dad manned the grill. That night, the whole frickin' neighborhood showed up. Parents, kids, even people he didn't know. And the band was crushing it. Folding chairs around the bonfire, people dancing to the music. It was a beautiful sight. By the end of the night, they had made a really good amount of money. And he thought to himself, I'm gonna put this money towards doing it again next year. And that's exactly what he did. The next year, it happened again. Bigger and better. And he kept doing it. It wasn't just a big party. It became a tradition for the entire neighborhood. And they loved it. You gotta respect the hustle. The wrong grandkid. Every few months, she would get an envelope in the mail. Oh, sweet. It was Grandma's handwriting. Inside of it, a crisp $20 bill. And a note that said, for gas. I don't even drive, Mom. Grandma's old, sweetie. Let's not question it. Money's money. Years go by and the letters keep coming. Always the same message. For gas. Then one summer, the entire family's over for a barbecue. Well, her cousin pulls up. New car, loud music bumping. He's about 5 years older than she is. What's up, family? Grandma hugs him. She's laughing. Oh, I see that gas money's going to good use. The cousin goes, gas money? Yeah, I've been mailing it to you for years. Well, this girl overheard that. Grandma, you've been mailing me that. Oh, my fault. What had happened was the grandma had written down this address years ago. It was the wrong address. It was the address of Ashley Johnson. The grandkid she meant to send it to was Adam Johnson. So all she wrote on the letter was A. Johnson. You can see where the confusion would come into play. Well, Grandma, looks like you owe me like $300 now. Oh, no. Your cousin probably needed that money more than you do. I mean, look at your nice car. You got plenty of it. That's hilarious. This kid's an evil genius. At this school, at the end of the year, they had a kindness award. The person who would win this kindness award would be given a $50 Dairy Queen gift card, 5 homework passes, and your picture on the wall of the main office. Well, the thing is, the person who won was voted on by a random committee of teachers. 5 teachers, different every year. So 2 months before the vote, this kid hatches a plan. He finds out who's on the committee. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Mrs. Stevens is the last one. Perfect. Once he found out, he starts doing the most calculated acts of kindness in front of each and every one of the teachers on the committee. For one teacher, he holds the door open for her every single morning. Ah, yes, good morning, Mrs. Stevens. Oh, how nice. Good morning, good morning. That's right, I'm nice. Another teacher, he brings in a plant labeled for your mental health and hands it to her. Here you go, Mrs. Johnson. I thought you would like this. Oh my God, I love plants. How kind are you? That's right, I'm kind. What was that? Nothing. Don't forget to water it. Bye. One time during lunch, he stands on a table and gives a speech about gratitude. And then after that, he walks around the cafeteria picking up trash, helping the janitors. It wasn't even subtle. One time, he handed a granola bar to one of the teachers and straight up said, here you go, for kindness. Well, aren't you just a nice student? And at the end of the year, he frickin' wins, and it's by a landslide. And that day, after school, he took that $50 Dairy Queen gift card, and he spent it all on himself. Needless to say, he had a terrible stomachache the next day. But hey, you gotta respect the hustle. From now on, you sit here by yourself. I hate my life. This kid was 10 years old, smartest kid in class. He aced every test, every assignment, but he was also super funny. Everybody loved him. And you see, the classrooms were set up like this. Round tables, and each table had like 5 people at it. Well, in this class, everybody wanted this kid at their table because he was just such a good time. That is until one day, the teacher deemed him too distracting. She pulled him away from his 5 friends and made him sit in a desk facing the wall at the back of the room. Sit down. And he was the only one back there. The rest of the class were sitting in their groups. Group projects, he worked alone. He wasn't allowed to talk. Week after week, he kept thinking, surely I'll be moved back to my table soon. But the teacher never let him. And slowly, he could feel the gap building. His friends got closer with each other and farther from him. That desk in the corner became his life. For 10 months. A punishment that was supposed to last a week lasted for 10 months. And that is not fair. It was lunchtime. Everyone is sitting on the lunch tables. It's pretty packed. And well, a chain reaction starts. The one where you punch someone on the shoulder and you say, pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. There's laughter. Everybody's playing along. The row across for them sees this and then they join in as well. Well, it gets to this one kid. Pass it on. He bursts into tears. He's ugly crying. He's wailing so loud, the whole cafeteria is staring at him. He bolts out of the lunchroom and goes straight to the office. No, you have to do something. He assaulted my son. I promise you we're going to get to the bottom of this, okay? No, my son was assaulted. We demand expulsion. Cut to the kid being called into the office. Hey, I met with the kid's parents and the school board, giving you a 120-day expulsion. Wait, for real? It was a game. Everybody was playing. Shut your mouth. 120 days. Even some of the kids that were at the table tried to go to the principal's office to explain that, this was actually a harmless game and everybody was playing. That kid is just being a baby. But he didn't listen. And that kid was expelled for 120 days. And here's the worst part. After 120 days, he was allowed to come back. But if he messed up one time by even getting a detention, they would put him on a permanent expulsion. That's kind of messed up. The fight started in the hallway, slamming into lockers, shouting, loud noises. When it was finally over, one teacher saw one kid whose shirt was ripped. And that was Ethan. Hey, I'm Ethan. Ethan didn't throw a punch. He wasn't even a part of the fight. He was just the one who was trying to pull his best friend Marcus off of the other kid. So when the principal called Ethan to the office, Ethan just took the hit. Did you do this? Yeah, I did. And what about your friend Marcus? I saw him near you. Was he involved too? No, he wasn't. It was all me. He's suspended for 3 days. When he comes back, a few people treated him a little differently, like he was some sort of bad kid. But a couple days later, his friend Marcus couldn't hold it in anymore. He felt guilty. So he went to the principal's office. He was crying. He told them the complete truth. The next day, Ethan's called in. You could have cleared your own name. Why didn't you? I just didn't feel right. Marcus has got enough stuff going on. I'm incredibly proud of you, Ethan. I am. By the end of that year, Ethan's grades aren't perfect. But the principal writes him a college recommendation letter. And it was so good that he got into his first choice college. That's amazing. It started at lunch one day when this kid pulled out a Ziploc bag of perfectly peeled orange slices. It was clean, cold citrus. Immediately, the kid next to him goes, Yo, can I have one? Yeah, for $1. The next day, he brings 2 bags. The day after that, he brings 5 bags. He starts charging people $1 per baggie. And people actually paid. Business was absolutely booming. He calls it the Fresh Citrus Company. And he draws his logo on each Ziploc bag with a Sharpie. It's an orange with sunglasses on. Within a couple weeks, business was booming so much that he was bringing these unpeeled oranges to school, and he had hired 2 other students to help him peel them throughout the day. He had trained them on how to peel because part of his business was having the perfectly peeled orange slices. He called these guys his citrus team, and he split some of the profits with them. But it all ends when a teacher pulls him aside and tells him that he has to stop.
You aren't allowed to sell food on school grounds unless approved by the district. You're shut down.
He challenged this, but then the principal got involved and it was kind of a whole thing, so the business was shut down. That day, he got together with his citrus team. They each had one last slice together, and they went their separate ways. It's been an honor, team. I will peel oranges for you anytime. Godspeed. Godspeed. You gotta respect the hustle. A freezing rainstorm hits overnight. Morning comes, and every single porch on the block is a sheet of ice. People are stepping outside trying to go to work, but they're slipping all over the place. But one kid, Billy, he planned for this. He saw the winter storm warning early. So the day before, he went to Home Depot and he bought 4 giant bags of ice melt with his Christmas money. And that morning at 7 a.m., he's outside in slip-proof boots, dragging a red wagon full of salt. $3, I'll melt your whole porch and driveway. $3, I'll melt it all. And the people that didn't have salt themselves, because this was very unexpected storm, they paid him. Take my money. Oh, take my money. Milk. So he's sprinkling, he's scraping, ice is melting, neighbors are getting to their cars, other neighbors see, they want to use his service as well. Business is booming on this crazy morning. And anyone who says, I'm not paying for your salt, fine, then you can slip. Wait, come back, here. They always give in. He made some really decent money that day, and ever since then, they called him the Winter King. He was a lifesaver, and honestly, genius. Gotta respect the hustle. They lost him during a thunderstorm. The backyard gate swung open and their dog was gone. For weeks, they searched. They put up posters everywhere. They called different shelters. Nothing. Then one afternoon, they're driving home. Daughter sees something. Mom, that's Milo. Same golden fur, same curled tail, except a new collar. They pull over and they walk up to the door. Milo! His name's actually Charlie. He's cute though, huh? Feel free to pet him. Mom, do something. Where did you find him? Oh, we picked him up from the shelter. He was soaking wet. It was raining. We took him home. That's our dog. He was chipped. He wasn't chipped, and that's our dog. The girl kneels down. Milo, come here. See? He knows his name. Charlie, come here. But Milo didn't come. He was so happy to see his real owners. Quick, get Milo in the car. We're leaving now. Hey, wait. And they took the dog and they sped away. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. That's my freaking dog. That dude was seriously trying to keep him. That's messed up. One day, this group of middle schoolers decided they're going to start a band. They got a rusty drum set, a broken amp, and one kid with a guitar who only knows like 2 chords. Well, here's what they did. They made flyers, and they put them around the school. Live garage concert, $1 admission, and they put the address. Well, after school, kids start showing up to this garage. The first day it was like 10 people, and these guys come out like they're freaking rock stars. What's up, everybody? What's up? You ready for a concert? And the people are like, yeah, sure, I guess. Just play something. And they launch into their one song. Garage music! Garage music! And it ends. That's it. Play something else. But they don't know anything else, so they just played the song again. Garage music! Garage music! And those kids left pissed off. But the thing is, people kept coming back every single week and paying the entry fee just so they could boo this band. Garage music! You guys frickin' suck! Yeah, you guys stink! Every time there was a garage concert, these students would bring different foods to throw at them. And the band, they didn't really care. Because they're making $15 to $20 a show for only like a minute of music. Hey, gotta respect the hustle. He got detention on his birthday. No! So apparently he was talking back to a teacher and the teacher gave him after school detention today. But it's my birthday. I don't care. So it was after school. He was in detention sitting there. Sad. He was supposed to be hanging out with his friends. Sucks so bad. But then the detention room door busted open and his 5 best friends walked in. Hey, yo, happy birthday, bro. What's up, brother? Happy birthday, man. Yo, what? The detention teacher was like, hey, you guys can't be in here. It's his birthday, man. Come on. One friend brought in cupcakes, soda, balloons, and they passed cupcakes and soda out to everybody in the classroom, even the teacher. Oh, thank you. Hey, we get a cupcake too. Of course, man, enjoy. This party's for everybody. And then they sang to their friend. Happy birthday to you. I blow out your candle, bro. And for the rest of the detention period, they were listening to music, eating cupcakes, and the teacher that tried to shut it down at first ordered a frickin' pizza. And by the end, nobody wanted to leave. You know what? There's still some pizza left and some soda. 20 more minutes, huh? Hey, nice. Honestly, best birthday ever. That's frickin' awesome. It was week 2 at summer camp. One kid realized the lake wasn't just for swimming. It was for business. He dragged a canoe down to the dock, and instead of just paddling around, he offered rides. And these weren't just regular canoe rides. He called them customized canoe experiences. The first customer was a kid trying to impress his crush. The canoe kid cleans the canoe, he pulls out a Bluetooth speaker, puts on love songs, throws down blankets as seat cushions, and hands them a pack of Twizzlers. Boom. $10 romantic canoe ride. This is nice. I like canoes. The next ride was a totally different vibe. 2 kids wanted to skip rocks in the middle of the lake. The canoe kid plays rap music and brings a bunch of flat rocks in a bucket. He takes them out there and lets them go wild. Boom. $10. Soon he's offering packages. There was the silence special for the kids that were fed up with their bunkmates. Soft music, calm paddling, and no talking for 20 minutes. It was like a meditation on the lake. And these customized experiences were spreading like wildfire. Everybody wanted to get a trip on this magical canoe. And by the end of camp, he made a pretty decent chunk of money. And the kids loved the service he provided. So, yeah, you gotta respect the hustle.
আসমানের চাঁদ লয়া এরকম বাছর ঘরে আহে তখন রাজা বাচ্চাগুলো হান
তুমি এই পোশাক কখনই চেঞ্জ করে আইবা নালে কইলাম আমি তোমার আমার লগে থাকতে দিমু না আইসা আলগা খানদানি রেওয়াজ দেখে
তোমার কত বড় সাহস তুমি আমার মাথায় বাড়ি দিবা এই আমি কি করছি বাজান কি এইটা কাম করছে নি আপনার মতো হীরার টুকরা একটা পোলারে লাথি দিয়ে বাইর করে দিছে
দিমু একটা ঠুয়া আমি পারুম না এই বেটা এই আমগো খানদানে পূর্বপুরুষেরা
তো কি টিপে কল্লা
লাগলে হেডাও টিপা দিমু তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে হাতটা টিপা দাও
আরে এখানে হান্দাবার লাগছস কে একটু ওদিকে নে না তোমার বিছানা আমি ভিজায় দিছি গা
এটা তুমি কি করছো
কি করছি ঘুমাইবা না
তোমার গো পূর্বপুরুষের মাথায় কি সমস্যা ছিল আব্বা
আবার নাটকের পর কয় কি শুনছো ওই বেটা
আব্বা জান আপনার পোলারে এখন জিগান তো রুটি গরম না ঠান্ডা
বাপ রে বাপ শুনছো নি একেবারে ডর দেয় তো বলে খুশি খুশি করে কাটতো হয়েছে আপনার ডর আপনার পকেটে থুয়া দেন
খানদানটা আমার কত উচ্চা দেখতে হইব না
দেখতেছি তো উঁচা ভি আর লম্বা ভি ঘুমা, বিছানা লাগা।
খারাপ না হয় এটা মনে রেখা মন দিয়ে রান্না করবো, হ্যাঁ?
আমার লগে মস্কারি চলতেছে এখানে।
একদম চুপ, একটা চাকা দিয়ে
বৌমা কি কইতেছো?
কুচি কুচি করে না কাইটা ফেলাইছি আব্বা। আমার তো মনে করে যখন ডর দেখাইতে দেখাইতে আমি দেখেন আপনি কি করি। ঘরে আইলাম না, এখন দেন না আসমানে ঠাড়াল্লাহান একেবারে কাঁপায়া দিমু।
আচ্ছা আপনার
তুমি রাগ করো না।
রাখতে তুমি করবা, খাড়া খাড়া চায়া দেও।
আমি তো ভাবছি ডাকাত পড়ছে নি।
এই শাহজাহানগর বাড়িতে ডাকাত আইবো এমন কোন মায়ালাল পয়দা হয়েছে নি? দাদায় পড়ছে, তার দাদায় পড়ছে, এবার আমার পালা, আমি পড়ছি।
আরে রাখো তোমার খানদানি রেওয়াজ।
যা করছি ভালো করছি, তোমরা তোমাকে রীতি রেওয়াজ করছো, ভালো করছো,
আমি পারুম না। তুমি আমার স্ত্রী, আমি তোমার স্বামী, তুমি আমার পার্টি পাইতে দিবা।
আমাকে খানদানে মাইয়ারা স্বামীর পার্টি পে না।
ইউজ করেন দেখি, রুচি আছে আপনার।
আরে রুচি থাকবো না, আমরা খানদান। খবরদার একদম উল্টা পাল্টা কথা কইবা না, কইয়া দিচ্ছি।
আমি কইলাম তোমার মাথা একের বাড়ি মাইরা ফাড়ায় ফেলামু।
আতা কাঠের তোতা পাখির ডালিম গাছে মৌ মরতে কিন্তু ঠাপ্পার কালমটি গরম গরম করবো আমি পাই।
কিন্তু তোমার হ্যাপি মোমেন্টে না, তুমি যখন ছ্যাঁকা খায় ব্যাকা হয়ে যাবে গা, তোমার ওই স্যাড মোমেন্টে আমি থাকবো, বুঝো না? আমি তোমার দুঃখের সময় আর
তোমার সঙ্গে আমি প্রেম করেছি, তার মানে এই না যে তোমাকে আমার বিয়ে করতে হবে। আর তাছাড়া আমি তো তোমাকে আগে বলেছি
দোস্ত আই এম ফিলিং সো ডিফারেন্ট ফর হার।
প্রেম যে একটা করছো, আবার আমার হঠাৎ করে জানতে ইচ্ছে করলো তোর হার্ট আসলে কি বলে। তোর হার্ট কি বলে?
খুব তাড়াতাড়ি ও আবার আমার কাছে ফিরে আসবে।
ফিরেন না সাহেব।
টাকা কই? টাকা বের কর, টাকা বের কর, টাকা বের কর। তোর টাকা দিতে আসছিস না?
তোমার যে বন্ধু যে বছরের পর বছর গলা যে ফাটা লাইছে, এখন গলা ফাটা, তুমি আমার কথা হইলো তো প্র্যাকটিস করলো না।
পৃথিবীটা না পিওর লাভের জায়গা না, ঠিক না?
একদম ভুল।
মানুষ আমি তোকে ভালোবাসি, তুই না যে হার্টের কথা শোনা বন্ধ করছিস, বুঝছিস? ব্রেনের কথা শোনা শুরু করছিস। চিনো কেউ?
চিনো না মানে? আমি চিনো না, সরি সরি, চিন না চিন না, সরি সরি সরি।
আমি তোকে ভালোবাসি।
আমরা কি খুঁজি জানো? আমরা খুঁজি পিওর লাভ, কিন্তু আমরা পিওর
হ্যাঁ থাকবো তো, কিন্তু তোমার হ্যাপি মোমেন্টে না, তুমি যখন ছ্যাঁকা খায় ব্যাকা হয়ে যাবে গা, তোমার ওই স্যাড মোমেন্ট।
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God. Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life.